Are you a parent with a young kid who's just begging you to buy that expensive skincare the friends told them about?
Or are you someone young who saw on TikTok all about those new retinol eye creams and you've been begging for one?
Hi, I'm Janaelston. I'm a skincare educator.
And I'm Olivia Elston, a skin specialist.
And today we're going to be talking about preteen and teen skincare and where you should get started and which products are best for you.
Amazing. So Mum and I have had lots of discussions about how there's been such an increase in children and their interest or fascination and need for skincare.
It is really interesting, the trend. When I was younger, I wasn't interested in skincare till I was 16. But we're seeing now children as young as 8 coming in looking to buy skincare, which is great on one hand, but on the other hand, sometimes they buy the wrong things for their skin based on what they see influencers talking about, who are much older, by the way, than them, based on what their friends are recommending, which is based on what they've seen elsewhere. It's interesting, isn't it?
It is. It's definitely a ripple effect that one person says one thing, then they get it, then they get it, then they get it. But it has been really hard because I found looking at the core of, I wouldn't say it's necessarily an issue, but I would say looking at the core of this phenomenon is, why are children so fascinated? It's because they're told that these ingredients, these products is what's going to make them more beautiful. It's what's going to make them more confident. It's going to make them that person, that girl, that boy. And that's something that I find is a little bit scary. But having an interest in it isn't a problem at all. I think that we just need to correct the education about what questions should you ask before you purchase something? What should you ask before purchasing when you saw it online and you need to figure out if it's right for your skin or for your children, your child's skin.
Exactly. I mean, looking after your skin is fantastic. I think it's great that you're interested in looking after your skin. As I've talked about it in my previous episodes, I started my children looking after their skin from the very young, from the time they could shower themselves. And in the shower, I would teach them this shampoo is for your hair, the soap is for your body, the toothpaste is for your teeth, and the cleanser is for your face. When they were very young, from about 5 years old, they knew how to clean the face properly with a cleanser, and then they would apply a sunscreen whenever they went to preschool and school. So those were the essentials, and I think it's important for hygiene purposes to learn those. But I'm seeing a lot of young children going beyond that today, and I'm talking like 8 years old, and there's been these trending TikToks where they're unboxing, young kids unboxing skincare hauls. They're 10 products that they've gone to a retailer, they purchased like this 10 boxes they're unboxing, and the products that I see them unboxing are not necessarily for their skin. They're really formulated for much older people. And it's a fascinating thing. I think what we're talking about is that sometimes you may be listening to somebody talking about skin and you should start skincare sooner, the sooner the better, which is great. But a lot of the influencers are much older and they are talking about products that are appropriate for their skin. Yeah. So if you're listening to somebody who's in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, doesn't necessarily mean that the product they're recommending is going to be appropriate or right for your skin. So that's when we see a lot of kids purchase the wrong products because they've seen somebody else talking about it or their friends told them about it because they've heard somebody else, right?
Exactly.
And they're spending small fortune on products that do nothing on their skin.
Yeah, and I'd like to say on that, I feel like I'm just out of my teens and I know how influential I was when I was a teen and a child, especially also being the youngest kid. Whenever my sister had something, I needed to have it, even if it wasn't my interest, my hobby, or it just wasn't appropriate for me yet, like when she got her phone. But saying that, I now can see as I'm older how there has to be those boundaries, and as adults, as educators, we need to try and educate and verbiage in a way that our children and teens around us will understand, and how they can instead turn and not just turn them down from using it or buying a product, but instead making them more curious and excited about what they can actually use. And saying that as well, going on, I feel like the marketing nowadays is very, very sneaky. They put it with lots of pretty colors. Some are more minimalistic. Some have more of this ongoing theme. And that's what really catches you is someone goes, not only do you need this cream, but you need the whole range, the cleanser, the toner, everything. And that's where you can fall into that slippery slope that you feel like you just need it. And you can so get that. You can get something that's still pretty and works and smells nice and makes you feel good. But let's help you figure out what exactly you can do. Or again, if you're a parent or an influential
person in their life.
Yeah, figuring someone's life, a teen, a preteen, a child. How can you help them to recognize what it is they actually could use?
Yes.
That's what I think.
I think it's hard, isn't it, when a child comes up to a parent and they say, I must have this, or my friends are using it, and that fear of missing out, and then, you know, they get upset if they don't have it. Isn't it interesting?
Definitely guilty of that when I was a kid.
So I think it's very important to stay educated and understand which products are appropriate, because we have seen things go wrong with people using wrong products on their skin. Just because somebody else has used doesn't mean it's right for you. Some people have dry skin, some people have oily skin, some people have sensitive skin. So it's important to understand which products are appropriate. So let's talk about preteens. So these are children before they're 10 years old. What should they be using on their skin?
Not necessarily before 10, before 13.
Before
so
13?
I'd say
teens,
maybe,
13s.
Yeah, so I'd say maybe around like 9 to 12.
Before puberty, essentially. Before puberty hits
10 to 12.
And the hormones kick in. So typically what we see in that age group, the skin is beautiful. It's resilient, has lots of collagen in it. It heals very quickly and it overcomes sunburn or injuries very quickly. So it heals really well. That skin has lots of antioxidants in it naturally. It has another enzyme in it that helps to eliminate toxins from the skin. They're called MMPs, right? You've got lots of these MMPs that function properly in that skin. So that skin is very resilient and beautiful and dewy and plump. So it's a healthy skin. Now, that skin doesn't need at that time products that are formulated for older skin that is missing all that. So that's what I like to highlight here. So what I've seen is some young children purchasing products formulated for older skin that are missing the collagen, the antioxidants, and so on. And they're using the products on the face when they don't need it. It's like taking an antibiotic when you don't need it.
Yeah.
And essentially what it does is they're wasting their money. Right? They're just wasting their money. It's not doing anything for their skin. Probably just makes them feel good because they're using what their friends are using or what their influencer. So it's all about feeling good. But for the skin, they're wasting their money.
Yeah. So that's when you can always try and explain it to them and help them understand that exactly what you said. It's just like taking some medicine when you're not sick. That's why we're saying maybe not use this product, but let's focus on this that you can use that is exactly for your skin. So that's something from cleansers, moisturizers, and SPF. Something that's just gentle, something that is all about just protecting the skin, I would say. What would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think essential at that age is teaching them how to cleanse the skin properly. And it's funny because on the other hand, I get a lot of mums coming into clinics and spas with young kids and teenagers go, I just can't get them to clean their face. I can't get them to put a sunscreen on. So there could be that other side of it as well. So it's essential that age group, teaching them how to be hygienically clean, and that includes a good cleanser for the skin that's gentle, that it's non-stripping, not over-nourishing, maybe some nice antioxidants in it that helps to protect the skin from the environment. That's pretty much all they need. The skin is hydrated at that age group. I've not seen young skins severely dehydrated unless they've been skiing, they've been traveling, or they've been using something wrong on their skin that's stripping. Those cleansers designed for acne skin and they strip their skin. But generally that skin is really healthy and resilient. Sunscreen is number one. If you could teach anything and if they could invest if they want to buy $100 worth of product, get them to buy a really beautiful sunscreen that they feel really good about. So sunscreen is really, really important.
Exactly. And I would say off of that too, only because you mentioned dryness, I have encountered lots of parents with their child who has things like eczema, dermatitis. So they of course are naturally quite dry and it can inflame up onto the face as well. I would say for sure then make sure that you always take them to your closest dermatologist, skin expert, skin specialist, doctor, because they could definitely still benefit from a skin routine, but it just might not be. They might need a little bit more nourishment than kids who don't have that dryness.
There is certainly skincare that it's suited for skins that are suffering from dermatitis, eczema. So they're formulated specifically not to be irritating, to be nourishing, barrier repair, to be calming. So certainly they can build a skincare around it. But I agree, they should be seeing a skin specialist in order to get the proper advice if they need to take it further and use medication if the condition is severe, for sure. I agree.
Thank you.
Now with teens, so once the puberty hits, that's when the skin starts to change. In many cases, the oil flow increases both in boys and girls, and that's when children can start to experience oiliness on the skin. With the hormonal fluctuations, they can experience some occasional breakouts. They can start to develop blackheads or even textured, congested skin. So that's when you can start introducing the concept of cleansing and then exfoliating regularly. Exfoliation will go a long way to keep those pores unclogged, so that the build-up doesn't happen.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said to exfoliate regularly. What does that mean?
Oh,
How
okay.
regular
Very
is
good.
regular?
Okay, so regular exfoliation is 1 to twice a week maximum. And that's when you're using that product that is designed to exfoliate once or twice a week. There are some exfoliants on the market that can be used daily, which is chemical exfoliants. Now, I would not recommend chemical exfoliants on children under 16 years old unless they have severe problems with acne or blackheads or congestion. And I'm talking serious, as in cystic acne. You would need to then talk to a skin specialist where they would guide them and monitor them under a proper care, doing skin treatments in the salons and seeing a dermatologist. But generally, teen skincare will experience more oil flow, which can then clog up the pores. So introducing once or twice a week an exfoliant, a gentle exfoliant, nothing too harsh, nothing too abrasive, because that can then cause a lot of problems down the track. I've seen people mix coffee grains or sugar and oil at home and rub it on the face, which is not right for your skin. It can then cause problems. It can strip the skin, cause the skin to become sensitized, and then you can have a whole host of problems after that.
And I've heard
it
it can also spread bacteria as well, which
exactly
leads to more acne.
Yeah.
The healing process then gets extended. I know this from experience. It would take way longer for my pimples to actually heal and go away when I kept kind of reopening them with a physical scrub and spreading it around, going too harsh. So there's lots of things that you just want to always be gentle.
You know what? There's so much skincare out there, and it can be really overwhelming and confusing, which is why you need to get proper advice. Get advice from people who know the products, who know what's in them, and they know who it's formulated for. So we went on a bit of a tangent there. So we started off with a good cleansing routine, morning and night, exfoliating once or twice a week to keep those pores unclogged so you're not developing those blackheads or breakouts. This is the age that you could introduce exfoliation, a very gentle exfoliation. And then moisturize. This is the age where you can introduce a moisturizer now as well. And there are many moisturizers that are lightweight, that are formulated for teen skincare that are appropriate for them. They can include antioxidants as well as ingredients to help to keep the breakouts at bay, keep the inflammation down, and keep a healthy, resilient skin. Now, moisturizers naturally will contain some kind of a moisturizer ingredient in it as well, so it'll keep the hydration levels up to keep the skin healthy. So cleansing, exfoliating once a week, moisturizing daily, and sunscreen. Right?
Beautiful.
And if you have any other problems other than just an occasional breakout or just a few blackheads from forming, then you may need to talk to a specialist who can then recommend you appropriate products.
Yes, exactly.
Now, what is this fascination about anti-aging, age prevention with teens? I didn't think about aging when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
I think it's when they're listening to other influencers who are recommending products, age prevention, you must be using peptides and retinols, which are really just formulated for older skins who are missing those key ingredients in the skin. They need to replenish them, whereas when you're young. Now, retinol is one exception because retinol originally was formulated for acne, treating acne. Yeah. So if you're going through teens, and Olivia experienced severe acne from the time you were 13, 14?
I started getting acne around 11, 12, but
Yes.
that was when it was just like kind of bumps a bit
Occasional
everywhere.
bump, yeah.
But then it
Develop severe acne.
Yeah.
Now, severe acne is treated differently. That's when we need to get a little bit of extra help, and that's when we can introduce ingredients like retinol into the skincare routine. But I remember we tried you on the retinol. It was just so strong on your skin,
Yeah.
and you didn't like using it because it was burning and sensitizing.
Yeah.
So we had to really work on making your skin more resilient, calming and
Yeah.
soothing and so on.
Yeah, and saying that, I was with a beauty expert, with an educator who could actually watch,
Monitor, yeah.
Exactly, that's right.
Yeah, just keep an eye on her skin.
Yeah, and I have to say on that note as well about children being fascinated, I don't even think it's just from listening. I definitely think, again, it ties into marketing, but image, I feel like Photoshop, blurs, filters, makeup, lighting, so much goes into content now that can really distort their reality. Like, I even have adults as well as children come in and say, why do I have like pores? Why do I
pores?
have like bumps? Like, how do I get rid of pores? I'm like, you can't. But of course, that's just because there's that lack of education. We're seeing so many people who look smooth and blurred and perfect, right?
On social media.
Yeah, so it's not just
marketing.
hearing, it's also that visual. So that's where it's really hard because it's now ingrained. How much screen time do they have where they're exposed to this stuff? And that's what's ingraining in their mind, is that's what they need to look like. So again, I think this all goes into how we educate them, how we educate you guys in understanding what is normal. And
Yes.
yeah, I just thought I'd mention that because
Yeah.
you talked about listening. I feel like it's also seen.
And if you're a teen listening to this, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you understand that we're trying to help, and we're trying to really teach you to love yourself, love you for who you are. You are perfect the way you are. And if you want to do skincare, that's great. You're looking after yourself. It's like brushing your teeth. But you don't need to start doing age prevention now. Your skin is at its optimum, at its prime that it will ever be in your life, right?
Yeah.
Later on, when you're in your 30s and you start to notice the first line wrinkles, we got lots of things that we can help with that. I think that age prevention is really marketed and targeted towards older people rather than the teens. Where the teens, you should be at your prime, enjoying your life, having fun with your friends. Yeah, great. Look after your skin and use the makeup and have fun with it. We both love makeup, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Makeup is great fun. If I was spending my money when I was a teen on anything, it was definitely on makeup.
Yeah.
Because it's fun and you can express yourself in different way.
That's what I love about it. Self-expression. And it's so fun. I feel like both of us, of course, we find that doing our skincare, doing our makeup, that's our habit.
Self-love.
And yeah, it's a routine that really makes me connect with myself. I figure out with makeup, how can I complement my features and fall in love with features that I felt I needed to change when I was younger. Things like that. Like, it's really, really beautiful. So I'm so happy that you guys are wanting these moments with yourself and can turn it into that. Like you said, we're just here to help.
Self-care is
And-
good. Self-care is skincare. We call it skincare is self-care. That's great. But use skincare that is appropriate for you at the time. And you don't have to waste your money on anti-aging skincare that you don't need,
Yeah.
really. Like, I think you started by talking about retinol eye cream that really young person came in, like an 8-year-old or something came in that wanted?
I've had multiple, and I've talked to girls at work, and they've also experienced children coming in asking to see a specific or any retinol eye cream. One that's really been very, very popular lately is a toner that has salicylic acid in it, and kids, again, as young as like 8, 9, 10 are like asking for it. And sometimes I say it's always up to your discretion as a parent who's with them purchasing, but I say it's not really appropriate for their skin. I would advise, and that's when I try and get all excited to try and make sure that the kid knows that I'm just doing it for the best of them. I'm trying not to just tell them not to get that. I'll say, that's not really appropriate for your skin, but why don't you try out this awesome sunscreen I love that's super lightweight, protects your skin.
There could be another toner they can use, you know?
That's
another
so true.
Fun toner. There's lots of fun toners you can use that are great for your skin. See, I'll just touch on that salicylic acid. If somebody comes in and asks you for salicylic acid toner, that means they want to either reduce open pores, they want to reduce clogging, congestion, blackheads, lines and wrinkles, pigmentation, or acne in the skin. Now, if we look at that skin that's in front of us and we're thinking, why is she asking for this? It just doesn't make sense. It's not like she's got no open pores, she's got no blackhead. So I'd say that's when they've heard somebody else use it. You should use it because it's trending, it's a great product at the moment, right? And they want to use it. Because if you're going to put that salicylic acid on your skin, just as a side note, and your skin is in tip-top condition, in its prime condition, its great condition, and you put that on your skin, you're going to be stripping your skin. And within weeks, you're going to start seeing a lot more oil flow happening on your skin. You're going to get oilier and oilier and oilier. And then with that, what happens, the skin starts to clog up, then you start to get breakouts, and then you're in a never-ending circle of trying to fix something, right? And that's what happens if you use the wrong product on your skin. So listen to your skincare expert if they come in and say, right, I'm not sure if this is the right one for your skin. Maybe whoever used it, maybe they had clogging. Maybe they had the blackheads and he helped them, but you don't. So let's find something that's best for your skin, right?
Yeah. And to end, I did interrupt. So what was your last summary on anti-aging and...
so the retinols around the eyes. Again, retinol is very irritating. On a young skin particularly, I'd be very cautious using retinol, salicylic, glycolic, or anything like that on the skin that's a young skin under 16 years old. I would only use it in extreme circumstances, right? So retinol around the eyes is for older people. It's for your mum, it's for your grandma to help to reduce the fine lines and wrinkles. If you don't have them, you're wasting your money. And number 2, retinol can irritate your skin and even cause dermatitis on your skin, right? So you've got to be careful what you are buying. Don't buy it just because you've seen it somewhere, you heard somebody using it, or because it's trending. There's so many products out there, literally thousands, millions of products out there that you can find that's going to be fun and great for your skin. Just find one for you. You go by recommendations. Talk to the skin experts, talk to the skin specialists. So I had a bit of a rant, I'm sorry, today, but I hope you found it fun and educational. If you have any questions or specific questions about your skin, you can pop them in the comments below. Would be really happy to help you out. And if you're a mum and you need advice on your teens' skincare, again, reach out. I'll be happy to help you. You can reach out to me on Instagram, janaelston. You can DM me directly, or you can find me on Facebook, again, janaelston. Thanks very much, and have a fabulous day. See you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.